Welcome to the Take Control Podcast, Episode 6, Personality Edition.
How's it going, everybody? It's Bilal with the Take Control Podcast. I've got Donny and Lawrence with me. Here's a quick disclaimer. If we have some technical difficulties or have to repeat something to Lawrence, it's because he's abroad for work, but the grind doesn't stop. So we've got a big time difference between us, and we're still doing this. So a little context for what we're doing today. It's a little different. We've each got pulled up this 16 question personality test, 16 personalities. And we're just going to go through the questions, each answer them, give a little spiel about it, and we'll go from there. So, that being said, I'll start us off. First question is, you regularly make new friends. And the answers range from strongly agree to strongly disagree on the other side of the spectrum. So for this, I regularly make new friends. I'm going to say I slightly agree. I don't go out of my way to do it, but I don't stop it if it happens. Donnie, what about you?
All right, I'm going to go probably agree just because, I feel like I'm a little more outgoing person, like to meet new people. And Lawrence?
So this is a little weird. I would say strongly agree. I'm very good at a surface level friendship. I'm very easygoing, very easy to work with. But I think when it comes to making a deeper friendship, that's when it gets a little bit harder. But I would say for this, strongly agree.
Okay. That sounds good. All right, so the next question is going to be, you spend a lot of your free time exploring various random topics that pique your interest. I'm going to say I strongly agree because when I get dedicated to something, I do a whole bunch of studying. I try to do everything to find the best results out of it. So I'm going to say strongly agree here. Well?
So, again, every podcast I mention this. Whenever me and Donnie agree on something, I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm also going to strongly agree. I do this a lot. I find something oh, this is cool. I kind of become obsessed with it. Try to just figure out as much as I can about it and then get involved with it. What about you, Lawrence?
Yeah, I think this is going to be our first full agreement on. I definitely strongly agree with this as well. I like to keep a a range of things that keep me busy, honestly. So yeah, I strongly agree as well.
Cool. Strongly agree across the board. All right. Next question. Seeing other people cry can easily make you feel like you want to cry too. With this one, I'm going to go with slightly disagree. I think, obviously, depending on the situation, if it doesn't affect me directly, I kind of go into try to help this person mode. So I'll feel sad, but I won't feel like I want to cry. So I'm slightly disagree. Donnie, what about you?
So I'm going to say more slightly disagree and disagree in general. It's just, I don't know. I feel like seeing other people cry doesn't really affect my emotion unless it's a very close family member. So it, like you said, it's depending on the situation, and what happened to make people cry. So
to be honest, up until we started doing this podcast, I didn't even know you had feelings. All right, Lawrence, what about you?
I'm going to just go with the first neutral on this one. I think with deeper topics, yeah, if I see somebody very close to me upset, I definitely do get upset. But thinking a bigger picture, especially if it's crying over something that's not very sentimental, I'm very impartial to it. But I would give a neutral to this one. It depends on the circumstance.
Yeah, okay. I see that. All right, so next one is, which I actually like this question. How often you often make a backup plan for a backup plan. I do this all the time. I make backup plans after backup plans. I have 18 plans just in case something goes wrong.
I'm going to call you out on that. And it's story time. I will never forget this. I will never, ever forget this. This might have been a year or 2 years ago. It was Thanksgiving. So Donnie was coming from Norfolk to Staten Island, and he had taken the train there. So
bus.
I'm talking to Donnie. He's the bus, whatever. He took transport there. And I'm talking to him while he's already in Staten Island. And he's like, I got to buy a car, dude. So I'm trying to help him out with the car search or whatever. And I'm like, oh, like maybe we can find stuff near Norfolk. And he goes, no, you don't understand. I'm like, what do you mean, Donnie? He goes, I only bought a one-way ticket.
Well, I could always bought like a plane ticket and all that. It's just I wanted to buy a car. Like, I went home with the intentions of buying a car, and if I had to spend the extra money, like coming home, I would have done it.
I was just messing, man, but I'll never forget that.
In life in general, though, I make up a lot of backup plans. So I'm gonna say strongly agree.
With this one, I also strongly agree. It's just like I need to have some sort of backup plan. Otherwise, I'm gonna be like thinking too much in my brain if I don't. What about you, Lawrence?
So I'm gonna say strongly agree when it comes to methods to escape. If I'm going out somewhere and I know that I don't want to stay there, I have 4 or 5 ways I know how to like make an excuse to leave. But if it's like going out, like say we wanted to go to a park, let's just say, and the park happens to be closed, I don't have like, oh, we could do this, this, or this instead. I kind of just go on the fly. But for the amount of time, like planning I'll do to have an escape route, I gotta say strongly agree here.
I feel you so hard. Never, ever do I agree to go to something that I'm not like 100% like into, unless I have like I know like how I'm gonna leave, when I'm gonna leave, etc. Even with you guys, no offense. Sometimes we'll be going somewhere, we carpool, and I'm like, I'll take my own car. All right, Don. I think the next one's on you.
No, I said I remember the sentence.
Oh, right. You're right.
How could we forget?
So next question is: you usually stay calm even under a lot of pressure? I'm gonna go with strongly agree. For myself, I just feel like getting nervous and panicking, I learned a long time ago, just like is detrimental to thinking straight. So I usually try to take a step back, look at the bigger picture, and try to take like a clear-headed decision. What about you, Don?
So I'm actually gonna go, even though like I would say usually like I strongly agree with this. I think I'm gonna just say agree, just because when you're under a lot of pressure, no matter what you do, you're gonna be nervous. You're gonna be a little on your feet, on your tippy toes. It's hard to stay fully calm in certain situations. So I'm gonna just go say agree. What about you, Lawrence?
I am confident that I am as cool as a cucumber, so I'm gonna say strongly agree here for sure.
Cool as a cucumber. Nice.
Yeah, I like that. I'm putting that on like list of things Lawrence says that I need to look up later. Like the straw that broke the camel's back. I actually heard my chief say it the other day. I was like, what the fuck? All right, so what's up? Oh, okay.
No, you can keep going.
All right. At social events, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people, and mostly talk to the ones you already know. I'm gonna say I agree with this in a certain sense, because like obviously I'm gonna introduce myself to people, but like if I know the people there, I might as well just talk to them. I'm not gonna go out of my way to make conversations with people I really don't know. Unless it's like a cute girl I want to get to know, but that's about it. What about you, Will?
If there was an option stronger than strongly agree, that's what I would pick. So I'm gonna go with strongly agree. I don't know what it is. I can't go up to someone random and just start like if I'm going to like an event with like a lot of people I don't know, I have to be going with people, and like if we separate, I'm that annoying guy that like will either I'm gonna hide somewhere, or I'm just gonna like pull out my phone and pretend I'm doing something, even though I'm not. What about you, Lawrence?
I'm gonna say this directly correlates with how sober I am. The more sober, the more I'm gonna keep to myself. The more I'm feeling good, the more I'm gonna socialize. But in all seriousness, I think any type of social event, I definitely at least like to introduce myself to people, even if I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna stay here and like small talk with them. I do like it. I do like to at least like make sure people have at least like seen me and I've approached them. Me personally, so I'm gonna say disagree here.
Wait, you said disagree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no. I read it backwards. So I would say, yeah, no, it's because it's asking. You rarely try to introduce. I would say I do introduce myself, so I'd say disagree.
All right. Next.
Yeah, it's a little backwards of a question.
Next one is: you prefer to completely finish one project before starting another? I'm gonna disagree on this. I maybe it's a flaw sometimes, but I like to have multiple things going on. Spread my interests. What about you, Don?
So I definitely prefer to finish something first, but knowing me, I'm gonna just go. I'm neutral with this, just because I'd rather finish a project and then start another one. But I'm everywhere. I hate being everywhere. But I'm gonna just go neutral because of what I do in real life, but not what I prefer.
Right, you finish one milkshake before starting the next
Oh, I love milkshakes. You can't have them though. All right, Lawrence.
Yeah, I would say for me, because this is asking what you prefer to do.
Yeah.
I maybe that might affect your answers. I would definitely prefer to finish one before starting another because I like to get very like invested into whatever I'm doing. So if I'm like here and there, then I'm not going to give a quality product on whatever it is. So I'm gonna have to say I strongly agree here that I prefer to completely finish one before another, even though I don't necessarily like you guys actually get to do that. But I definitely prefer to do that.
All right, I'm gonna agree with you then. I will strongly agree because I definitely prefer. Okay.
I stay with my answer. I think that by having more things going on, I feel like I feel more productive. Like I have this going on, I have this going on, I have this going on. I need to do more with my time. Rather than if I'm like all in on one thing, I make that thing like I can take my time with it. Which isn't like a
That's
bad
fair.
thing. It's just
That's fair. No, not at all.
It's
That's fair, though.
preference. All right, Don.
All right. So next one is gonna be: are you very sentimental? I'm gonna go slightly agree. I am, but I'm not. If I'm getting cluttered everywhere, I'm gonna throw whatever the old shit is away. Like I'm sentimental to a certain extent. Billy.
I'm shocked by your answer. I'm gonna say I'm neutral. I like things that like everyone would be sentimental about. I'm sentimental about, but I don't I don't add value to like little things that I think. Yeah, I don't know. What about you, Lawrence?
I'm extremely sentimental. Like I don't really like throwing out old stuff, and I really like having physical things that either remind me of someone or something. Like I like having physical pictures of like friends and family back home. Like I still keep it with me. Yeah, I'm definitely a very sentimental person. Strongly agree.
I think the Navy actually brings that more upon you too. Like what, especially
Oh, for sure.
when you go you're away from everybody. Like you don't have your phone or anything. I definitely feel that.
And I think that helps you. I think that helps you realize who you are, though. It helps you realize that yeah, like, I am definitely. I mean, even before the Navy, I still liked having like a physical thing for something. So I'd stay strongly agree.
Awesome. Next one. You like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists. For me, I'm gonna agree. I definitely do like it. I prefer it, but sometimes I can, fly without it. Depends on the week. Don?
I'm gonna say I strongly agree with this because I literally put everything in my calendar. Like nothing goes past me with my calendar, and I keep a journal for everything I have to do for work. So I strongly agree with this. What about you, Lawrence?
So I don't. Maybe this is not what this question's asking, but I definitely write stuff down to remember it. But I don't necessarily use a schedule, and I abide by that schedule. So I'm gonna just go with it as if it's strictly saying using a schedule, writing a schedule, and following it. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say disagree because I don't necessarily write what I'm gonna do and then do it. I do write stuff down, but I don't say like, oh, I'm gonna hit the gym at exactly 10 o'clock today. I'm gonna go shopping at exactly 12 o'clock. That's not necessarily what I
What
do.
about it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hit the gym right after work. That's still having a schedule though.
I feel like the part we're not emphasizing enough is organizing tools. Like it doesn't just have to be schedules and lists. It's like things you use to organize yourself in your life, whatever that is. So Lawrence, I know you like to-do lists. I don't know if that.
Yeah. Okay, so then, in that aspect, maybe it is an agree. I'll keep it an agree. But
Because like
I do have an agenda, something that's like kind of twisted. The agenda I told you guys about that I bought. Like I'm not really investing myself as much as I thought I was going to be because I don't really like. Granted, my schedule. I don't really like plan out my entire day in the morning.
right,
This
right,
is
right,
not something I do, and I try to. I just
right.
can't
Right.
Yeah,
schedule my whole day.
things come up.
I agree. I like like dates and stuff of like stuff coming up. I put in a calendar, but I mean like on certain days I'll have like so many random little things I need to do, so I need to have like a
Yeah.
list. So that's what I like interpret it as.
All right, I'm gonna keep mine as like a slightly agree for it, but I'll leave it at
Fair.
that.
Fair.
And actually, you know what? I think my Wi-Fi's a little good right now. So let me read this next one.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna take the lead on this one. All right. So even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. I am giving this the biggest disagree as possible. I am the firmest believer that mistakes help you get better. So I'm gonna give a strong disagree.
I'll take next. I'm gonna agree with you as well. I feel like you said, you learn from your mistakes. Even though I feel like the smallest mistakes are what breaks down a person the most, because it's like, oh shit, I made a small mistake. What about a big mistake? But no, mistakes help you in any sense. Like, I can't even explain it, but
Well, no, I would say I understand what you're saying, but it depends on your attitude. If your
yeah.
attitude is shifted to allow your mistakes to help you, then yes. But some people do let it eat them up. So,
My
but
my saying is like, keep your fucking head up and just get through it, and then like, doesn't matter how many times you get down as long as you get back up. But
yeah,
that's how I go through it. What about you, Blo?
For me, it's not. I don't so much doubt. I'll put blame on myself that I'm like, oh, I should have worked harder or I should have done this, but I don't. I don't doubt that I was capable. I doubt if I like didn't prepare adequately, I guess. So I'm gonna be a slightly disagree here.
okay, that's fair. Donnie, you want to take the next one?
Yeah, sure, I'll take it. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone to find Wow, what's with my English though? You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. I'll agree with this. Depends. Especially if it's a woman, yeah. But like, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, look at this guy. I feel we have so much is similar. Nah, that's why I put agree. So I guess it depends on the gender of the person. Blah.
I've seen you connect with people just because they were in the Navy, but just whatever. For me, I'm gonna contrast this to the previous question earlier that said like you show up to a thing and you are comfortable approaching random people. For me, if this is someone they do something I'm interested in, that like something we can talk about, I feel like I'm gonna slightly agree. Like I'll go talk to them like, oh, I'm also interested in this. And we have something to talk about, as opposed to like a random person like to do small talk. What about you, Lawrence?
And again, I'm trying to like analyze these questions because I don't know how much more different they're going to be further on. So, as far as feeling comfortable to go up to somebody, I would say I agree. If this was how often do I find myself doing it, then I would have said I disagree. But if it's like, you know, somebody like kind of how you were alluding to, Bilal, like I know that they have common interest in me, I just don't really know the person yet, then I have no problem like personally like just walking up and striking a conversation on. I know that there's like a middle ground that we can have good conversation on.
Cool. All right. Next one. You are not too interested in discussing various interpretations and analyses of creative works. I'm gonna disagree. I feel like I like to talk about that, especially about like actually I'm gonna go strongly disagree, especially about like music and movies and things. Donnie?
If we're talking about that, I'm not big into like actual art and all that, so I feel like just it's creative works in general. So I'm thinking like also about poems and all that. So I'm gonna go disagreeing, but I can't go fully disagree with that. Lawrence?
Yeah, I think I'm the same boat as you guys. Well, more so on Donnie's side. Uh, like I don't mind different like views on stuff, but yeah, I'm just gonna go disagree here. I'm open. I stay open minded.
Yeah. All right. So the next question we got here is you are more inclined to follow your head than your heart. I'm gonna agree with this. I feel like I'm more of a statistical person. If I know it's gonna help me, I will do it. So I'm gonna go more of agree. But obviously, you gotta follow your heart sometimes. Blah.
Um, I'm gonna go neutral. I think for me it's they go hand in hand. One keeps the other in check.
Yeah,
But like
smart.
depending on the situation, it can change who's in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so part of me wants to say strongly disagree, but I do think that I've gotten to a point where I'll go off of like past experiences, which is following my head. But I definitely think I'm very like if I go off of feeling, like if it feels right, but maybe it doesn't necessarily make sense, I'll still go for it anyway. So I'm gonna stick with a disagree here. I think I follow my heart a little bit more than my head.
Billy, you got the next question.
All right, next one. You usually prefer just doing what you feel like at any given moment instead of planning a particular daily routine. Um, this is kind of tough for me. Like I like having a routine, but I don't like feeling tied down to the routine, if that makes sense. Um, I'm gonna go slightly agree because it says prefer. I would prefer to like be in charge of my own routine rather than having one like structured for me, if that makes sense. Don?
I'm gonna go straight up neutral here. I feel like you should have a daily routine, but also be open to change at any given moment. So I'm gonna go neutral. I like both sides of perspective. Lawrence.
I mean, I agree with your point, Don. Like, being neutral. You too as well, Bilal. Like, not feeling like you're tied down. Um, I don't want to confuse this with being disciplined because, in a sense, I kind of feel like that's what it's saying. Like, do you kind of do whatever, or are you disciplined? So I'm not going to take that approach. I'm going to stay strictly like, oh, I need to do this on this day or at this time. I'm just going to hit an agree here. I kind of just go like, if I'm feeling good today, I'm going to do it. Like, especially when it comes to for me exercising. Sometimes like depending on the day, I want to exercise in the morning or I want to wait till after work. It's all like on feeling really. So I'm gonna put that as an agree.
Okay. So the next one is you rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet. I'm gonna honestly say disagree here because I like making the good first impression. Because you never know when you're gonna meet this person again. You don't know how valuable they can be later in long life. I feel like you should always treat people with respect at first and make a good impression. Bilal?
With this one, actually, I'm gonna go with agree. I feel like it. I'm like me. Just in general, I'm a respectable, like decent person. I if I meet someone new, I don't like care what they think of like what I do or what I look like or whatever. So I'm gonna go with agree.
I feel
Lawrence?
like hold on, I feel like that's not really like what you do. It's just making a good first impression is like
Right. I guess
being respectful.
I guess I took it in a different way.
Yeah.
Like
So I see what both of you guys are saying, and
yeah.
I'm gonna interpret this question saying like, oh, you're gonna meet somebody new for the first time, so maybe you're trying to particularly do something different for the first time you meet them. That's kind of like how I'm gonna interpret it. Yes, Don, I agree. Like you should always treat people with respect, especially like first time meeting them, and like soften into like the sense of humor that you have. But I don't really ever catch myself thinking to myself like, oh, I'm about to meet this person for the first time. Let me make sure I'm being extra proper. Like I'm kind of just like I'll just be myself because
Yeah, you be
I know
yourself.
Yeah.
how.
That's how
But
I took
Yeah,
it.
I'm just
I know like I
so
can
like
be a
I'm not
dick
like thinking like,
sometimes.
oh,
You know,
okay,
like
but so that's why it makes sense that you would have to, make sure you're like being a little bit more partial to what you say or how you act because it could be taken the wrong way. Even though you mean well, it could be taken the wrong way. But I think in a professional setting that like I know that I don't necessarily like worry about it because kind of like work kind of speaks for itself and like my personality, I don't really worry about it. So I would say agree here.
All right. Is this me now? I
yeah.
think. Yeah. Next one is you enjoy participating in group activities. I'm gonna agree. I enjoy group activities. Don?
I'm also gonna agree. Even though I love like doing group activities and all that, I still sometimes just rather do something by myself, like here and there. So I'm gonna go agree, depending on who the group, what the group is, and who it is. So
Yeah, fair.
Lawrence.
I'm gonna just agree here. I think just being in a group just makes time more fun and it passes by quicker. So yeah, I think this is a pretty easy agree, but I don't necessarily want to force myself into doing a group activity, so that's why I wouldn't say strongly agree. But I say in general, I do enjoy group activities.
Bill, you got the next one?
No, I just read too.
Oh, okay. You like books and movies that make you come up with your own interpretation of the ending. So I'm gonna actually go strongly agree with here. I know I'm a little late on this, but I've read The Alchemist on Deployment, and how you interpret the ending
It's a good book.
Yeah, it's a great book. It's like it's all about. It's either you interpret it many different ways. It's about the journey. It's about where you started. So like anybody can interpret it about how they want to interpret it, and then that's how they can go about their lives. So I'm gonna strongly agree with here. Ball?
I'm gonna disagree. I just finish it out. Like
Straight to the point.
yeah, just get straight to the point.
Okay.
I feel like I
So-
appreciate when things are like can be taken different ways, but I don't want to be left it like up to my interpretation. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm gonna strike a nice neutral here. I don't like when it's done lazy, like the interpretation. Sometimes I do like having a definitive ending, but I think when it's done right, like again with The Alchemist, that's a great example. I also think you guys haven't finished the show, but The Sopranos, the way it ended was like a huge, uh, like cliffhanger, basically, just up for interpretation. And a lot of people hated it, a lot of people love it. But I think when it's done right, it's enjoyable, but I don't want it too much. There's some times where if I'm devoted to a story, I like to know straight up how it ends. But yeah, I'm gonna keep it neutral here.
Cool. All right, next one. Your happiness comes more from helping others accomplish things than your own accomplishments. I'm gonna go with neutral. I like both. I like seeing myself like do things I said I do, and I love helping people get to where they want to accomplish. Don?
I'm gonna be neutral here as well because I feel like if you don't finish your own accomplishments first, why are you gonna help other people's accomplishments? So I feel like even though I do love helping out other people finish their stuff, but I also love helping myself as well. So I'm gonna go neutral here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hit a slightly disagree here because again, I'm in the same boat as both of you. I absolutely love seeing other people do well, but I also love knowing that yeah, it's you could say whatever you can to other people to help them, but being able to actually go out and do it for yourself as well is very important, especially for myself. That I'm gonna hit it with a slight disagree because I do really enjoy also helping other people, but it comes back down. You also have to do it yourself sometimes, and then like the more you help yourself, the more you can help others. So you have to like kind of like in a sense be a slightly selfish when it comes to accomplishments. That way you could further help others.
Exactly. I feel like it's in the same place of like you can't love anybody else if you don't love yourself first.
So you love yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree.
All right. So the next question is going to be: you're interested in so many things that you find it difficult to choose what to try next. Even though I'm usually stuck on one topic, I do like multiple topics at a time. So I'm going to go slightly agree here. Actually, no, I'm going to go slightly disagree because I'm more focused on one topic at a time, even though I do have a lot of interest on my mind. What about you, Blo?
I'm gonna go with disagree. I do like doing many things, but I don't find it difficult to choose like what to do next. Like, I can like tell which one I'm like really more interested in, and I'll just do that one next.
Yeah.
Lawrence?
I might have to hit this with a slight agree because especially where I'm at right now in life, like about to get out the Navy, like what next, I guess, career path to kind of pursue. There's a lot, honestly. There's a lot of things that are striking my interest. I don't necessarily know what exactly set in stone I want to do. And also, I kind of catch myself, and this is a problem I have with reading. There's so many like stories and books that I want to read that I'll get caught up just like looking at like top rated like I guess novels or stories that like I'm like, dude, I have a great one right next to me. Why don't I just read that? but I get devoted into like just finding out what else is out there. So I'm gonna hit this with a slight agree.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Next one. You are prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse. Um, I'm gonna slightly disagree. I'm not prone to it. Like sometimes it happens, but most of the time I just like what was that? Some athlete or something said like trust the process. I like that. That's what I do. So I'm a slight disagree. Don?
So I'm gonna slightly agree with this because I kind of like worrying about things because it's gonna help me prepare just in case something does go wrong. And that's where I feel like the other question was like, oh yeah, this plan B, C, D, and this and that. It's all because I like to worry about things, and even though I don't let it consume me, but I like to worry about it enough just to make these backup plans so I don't fall into a rut or something. What about you, Lawrence?
Yeah, so prone to worrying. I'm gonna hit this with a strongly disagree because I feel like through the amount of planning that I would do and I guess a track record of stuff that have taken a turn for the worse, but I've still kind of like just found a way, knowing that at the end of the day I'm in a sense confident that I will find a way. So I'm gonna hit this with a strongly disagree. I'm not prone to worrying about it.
I guess
All right.
that makes sense.
I want to take
Um,
this next one too while we're at it.
oh,
Uh,
this is
so
easy.
this next one is you avoid leadership roles in group settings. I'm hitting this with the fattest strong disagree I can. You guys know me. Like I don't feel I try not to be like overly assertive with it. Like if somebody else wants to do it, by all means, I'm willing to listen. But I do think I find myself more often than not in the friend group and work and life in general that I do tend to fall into a leadership role.
I'm actually gonna
Okay.
also strongly disagree as well because I like the responsibility almost of being in a leadership role and just actively it's basically actively helping others below you, even though technically most of the time it's not really below you, but like other people around you, let's say, and yeah, that's why I like leadership roles in general. Well,
I'm gonna go with the regular disagree. I feel like it's not that I like actively try to control things. I just sometimes it just happens. Like I'll be in like a group or something, and like something needs to get done, and everyone's kind of just like they acknowledge it needs to get done. Nobody wants to do it. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, and I agree with your point there too. Like, and that's why maybe hitting it with a strong disagree might be a little wrong in terms of this. Like, I don't go out of my way to say, like, nah, I'm leading this, but I definitely feel that I've never had a chance where it's like uh, I needed to do it, and I was like, nah, I don't want to, which is why I'm hitting a strong disagree.
Next one. You are definitely not an artistic type of person. I'm gonna disagree. I feel like artistic, creative, like I feel like I am. Photography. I like to make things. Don?
so I'm gonna agree that I'm not really an artistic type of person, but I do respect like music and all that other stuff, all that other stuff like music, movies, and all that. Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit this with a slight disagree. I'm looking again. I'm looking at this at a music perspective as well. I want to eventually start making music. I'm not like an artist like drawing, photography, but musically, I'm gonna hit this with a slight disagree. And I'll take us to this next one. You think the world would be a better place if people relied more on rationality and less on their feelings? This is a tough one. This is a really tough one. Um, I'm gonna hit this with a slight disagree because I feel like yes, if you rationalize everything, like theoretically, it might make things work better. But I feel like a lot of times you got to go with your feelings. Like, if you cared a little bit more about the person next to you versus like a statistic, then I think the world might be a little bit better place.
I got you. Yeah, this is a tough one. I was gonna take the easy way out and go with neutral, but I'm actually gonna go with a straight up disagree. I think that straight up rationality is almost kind of like taking the safe way out every single time, and without feelings, people wouldn't take risks, and without taking risks, people wouldn't advance. So I'm gonna stick with the disagree. Don?
I'm going to go completely opposite from you guys. I'm going to go strongly agree. Because sometimes feelings get in the way of I can talk about this all day. But short and simple, feelings get in the way of people and most of the time you got to look at the statistics and be like this is what's going to work and fuck that person's feelings because it's going to end up better. It's going to better their life even though they don't like it. So I'm going to strongly agree with this.
That's
And then
okay,
with
Jake.
the next question, it's you prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. So I have yet to plug in my PS5 because I have not fully cleaned my room. And I got my PS5 2 months ago. So I'm going to agree with this, even though I do let myself have some downtime.
For this, I'm gonna go with regular agree. I prefer to do like get my stuff done before I relax, but it doesn't always happen. Lawrence?
Yeah, so for this one, I'm just gonna hit it with an agree. I definitely prefer to do my chores before allowing myself to relax. I'm not gonna lie to myself. I hit it with a strong disagree because I definitely do catch myself being a little lazy sometimes, but this is an agree for me.
All right, Don, I want to take us to the next one.
Yeah, so the next one is enjoy watching people argue. Even though I do think it's funny sometimes seeing people argue, especially like a couple of our friends, I disagree because I do not like to see people argue in general because I feel like it'll be better if everyone just came together. But Bilal?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a disagree. I don't particularly enjoy it. Lawrence?
Yeah, I'm hitting this with a strong disagree. I think people should argue. I think healthy arguments are good, but do I enjoy watching it? Absolutely not. I'm gonna hit this with a strong disagree.
That's fair.
All right. Next one. You tend to avoid drawing attention to yourself. I agree. I never like to be like the center of attention. Don?
Even though I do avoid doing this, I feel like I still do at the end of the day. So I'm gonna agree with this. I like to be under the radar as much as possible. What about you, Lawrence?
Yeah, it's a strong agree for me. I hate drawing attention to myself, and like my parents notice this all the time when I'm at home and stuff too. I just I don't like it. Like I like staying low key.
Yeah.
Let's carry us on to this next one though. Your mood can change very quickly. I'm gonna hit this with a. I wish there was like a middle ground between disagree and strongly disagree. Because obviously, depending on like drastic circumstances, it can. But yeah, I'm actually not. I gotta go with a strong disagree. My mood does not really change very quickly.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
gonna go
no, you
ahead.
got
Don.
it. No, you got it.
All right, I'm gonna go with regular disagree. I think that it doesn't. It takes a lot for me to like change my mood in either direction. Don?
I'm gonna slightly disagree here. It's just things can pop up and just change your whole mood at any point. So I'm not gonna put it past myself that my mood can change pretty quickly. And this next one is you lose patience with people who are not as efficient as you. And honestly, I'm gonna agree with this because I like to. I have a pace I set for myself and a standard I set to myself, and if people don't live up to that standard, I lose patience pretty quickly.
I'm gonna go with again. I think the easy way out here for me would have been neutral, but I'm gonna go with slightly agree. I think internally I do lose patience, but I don't necessarily make that known, especially if it's something that I know I can do like quicker or more efficient than someone. I know it is what it is. Lawrence?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit this one with a disagree. I don't think I lose patience if they're not as efficient as long as I see like a genuine attempt is being made to be up to my level, like to what if it's something that I'm very like particularly good at.
Yeah.
As long as
Okay.
an attempt is being made.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm my thing is like if people aren't efficient after a while and they're still doing the same shit, I lose my patience. But if you're new and you're trying, then yeah, I kind of agree. But depends on the situation. So this next one is you often end up doing things at the last possible moment. I'm actually strongly agree with this, even though I do try to plan ahead. It's my big thing is do tomorrow. So, like, I'm pretty efficient with what I do, so I'm pretty confident with that.
I'm gonna disagree with this. I try to avoid this. Does it happen sometimes? Yeah. But it'll be like intentional. It'll be like, oh, this thing is whatever. I can do it at the last possible moment. Lawrence?
No, I gotta hit it with a disagree. Because if I know I can't really relax with something if I know I have something I need to get taken care of. Like, granted, I'm not gonna hit a strong disagree because there's times where like I know like I can push it on. It's not gonna take that much time. But if it's a time-consuming task, no, I have to get it done before I want to like have any type of entertainment.
All right. Next one. You have always been fascinated by the question of what, if anything, happens after death. I'm gonna go with neutral. Like, have I thought about it? Yeah. Do I actively think about it? No. Don?
I'm gonna strongly disagree. It's just how I think. I'm a pretty spiritual person, but I'm not very religious or anything. So I think once you die, there's nothing there. Like, you're just a corpse. So that's what I think about that. Lawrence?
Yeah, I'm just gonna hit this with a slight disagree. Of course, like you've had those like conversations, like what do you think happens? Like it is definitely like intriguing to think of because it's so unknown. But I definitely don't get caught up in it and like try to like do any like proving. It's kind of just like I've had that conversation here and there. It's interesting, but I don't get hemmed up on it. But yeah, that leads us to this next question. You usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own. And I'm gonna take this question in a like close, not just like in general around other people, and like actually I'm gonna take that back. It is kind of saying just being around others in general. So I'm gonna hit it with a slight agree. No, I gotta hit it with an agree. Like thinking about it, I do like that sense of like connecting. I do like my alone time, but I do enjoy like okay knowing that I'm not alone in a certain thing, in a certain environment.
Don, what about you?
So I'm gonna say honestly, I slightly disagree. I even though I do like hanging out with the group and I like hanging out with everybody in there, it's just I love my alone time. I love the time I can be by myself. So that's why I slightly disagree. Even though it's really more of a neutral, I can't get past my time by myself. I love it.
I'm gonna hit a neutral here. I like them both equally. The caveat being that like others are people I genuinely enjoy spending time with, but it's neutral for me.
That's fair.
Next one. You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. I'm gonna say I agree, especially if it's like our friend group likes to do this thing about like superhero movies and like universes and stuff, and they like I don't understand. They like draft teams of different like characters and like debate about it. I can't can't get involved with that. I'm sorry. I don't know if both of you would do it or not, but
So here's the thing. I'm gonna go. I agree with this because wait, no, I disagree. I'm sorry. I disagree with this because I am one of those people, and these conversations get fucking heated, and I love them. It's just the people that we have these conversations with. But Lawrence,
I gotta hit it with a slight agree. There's definitely times where I do like getting into those like drafting a team's argument who would win, but I can only do it so much. Like when it comes to like deep downing into like, well, did you see this video about this and this explanation? And then it's like, all right, that was just too much. I just like
you're over it.
Yeah.
Okay. Take us to the next one, Lawrence. You sound good.
I gotcha. All right, so you find it easy to
did you just
emphasize
jinx it?
I think I did.
with a person.
Oh my god!
Did you jinx it?
Leave that in there.
Hello, test 1 2. You guys hear me?
You fucking jinxed it.
That's funny.
And
thanks,
I think we're back.
That was
All
perfect
right.
timing.
So, next one. You find it easy to empathize with a person whose experiences are very different from yours. I think maybe I'm wrong here, but I feel like that's not the. I feel like that's the definition of sympathize and not empathize. But I'm sure I'm gonna take it for what it is. I'm gonna go slightly agree. Yeah, I can even regardless of like the background, I can try to put myself in different like someone else's shoes. Don?
So I'm actually gonna say I agree with this because experiences cause different opinions as well, and I like to hear people's different opinions and why they have these opinions. So empathize, like I'll agree with that because I can understand other people and why they have these opinions and experiences.
All right. So yeah, it's hard to I guess compares empathize and sympathize. I think empathize is more of like you share the feeling, whereas sympathize is more like you understand it. But I think if you have a close enough relationship with the person, and I feel like I've had this happen before, so I'm gonna hit this with an agree.
Cool.
All right,
Next
so
go
yeah,
ahead.
I'll take it. You usually postpone finalizing decisions for as long as possible. I don't like maliciously do this. I kind of do this to keep my options open. So I'm gonna say I agree with this because I like to have options open for me in the future. Well,
Um I'm gonna go with a slight agree. I guess it depends on what the decision is.
yeah.
Lawrence?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit it with a slight agree as well. I think if it's not being malicious and I can postpone my answer, I like to do that in case something pops up. I like staying open.
Cool. Next one. You rarely second guess the choices that you have made. Um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go slightly agree. Uh, does it happen sometimes with like stupid things, but like in like big actual decisions? No, I don't second guess. Donnie?
I'm gonna also slightly agree here because I have second guessed myself in the past, and it's just like I do wish I did a lot of stuff differently now. If that's kind of what this is saying, because this is past tense. So yeah, okay, I slightly agree with that, Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit this with a strong agree. I think this kind of falls into like the mistakes category. Whereas like if I made a mistake, I don't dwell on it. I'll just learn for the next time. So I don't really second guess choices I made. The biggest second guessing I make nowadays is if I should have went for a third party, if or I should have ratted an Apex.
Huh.
You gotta get the KP. All right, so the next one is gonna be after a long and exhausting week, a lively social event is just what you need. Um, I'm gonna go neutral here. Depends on the week. Sometimes I don't want to see anybody. It's like get the fuck out of my face. Just want to stay at home, watch TV, play video games. Then other times I like to go out, see my friends, and do all this other stuff. So I'm gonna go neutral here because it's depending on my mood.
I'm gonna go with a strong disagree. Uh, Key words being lively, social event. If it's been a long and exhausting week, my night will be order some good food, go to bed early, and hang out with my cat and watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. Lawrence?
I think there's so many variables to this question. It really depends on what type of week it was. If it was like a physical week or like long hours in the office week, and also it depends on what type of social event. So because of that, I'm just gonna hit it with a slight agree. With I'm just gonna go with like more. I guess more often than not, if I'm not like actually like can't move, then just like a hangout, some good conversation, a couple of drinks. I do enjoy that.
Yeah.
Cool. Next one. You enjoy going to art museums. I'm gonna go slightly agree. I do enjoy it, but I don't like to spend a million hours there. Don?
I'm gonna go disagree. It's I do don't get me wrong. I do like going there. It's just I'm not too appreciative of the art, but it is interesting.
Bro, I'm hitting this with a strong disagree. It's not that I don't appreciate
Fair.
them, but I just I've never ever had the thought to myself, yeah, I'm gonna go to an art museum. It's just not something I would say I enjoy doing.
That's fair. All right, Don, want to take us to the next one?
Yeah, okay. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. That's a little tough. I'm gonna say disagree because I do like to understand how people are feeling, and then I'm not walking in their shoes, so that's what I would say about that. So next.
For this one, I'm gonna go strong disagree. I think it's one of my strengths actually. Is that I really try to understand where somebody's coming from. Lawrence?
Yeah, same as below. Strong disagree for your exact reasonings as well.
Cool. Next, you like to have a to-do list for each day. I'm gonna go slightly agree here. I do like having it, but it's not like each day. Maybe it'll be for like the week. Don?
I'm gonna go slightly agree, just because it's kind of the same way. My daily routine is pretty the same way. I don't need to have a to do list, but the weekly one, yeah.
Yeah, I think for that aspect, I'm gonna hit it with a slight disagree. I do like more of like a weekly to do than versus like a daily to do. So I'm gonna hit that with a slight disagree.
Cool.
All right. So next one is you rarely feel insecure. I'm gonna strongly agree with this, just because I feel like being insecure is what you make of it. If you look at yourself and you see something you don't like, you got to fix it. And that's not really being insecure. That's knowing what's wrong with you, and then you're appreciating yourself at the end of the day. So I'm not really insecure. I just like to fix what is wrong with me.
I'm gonna go with an agree here. I don't feel insecure regularly. Maybe like once in a while over something, but it doesn't last. Lawrence?
Again, this is a tough one. I kind of wish there was like an in between strong agree and an agree because I get what Don's saying. That's like self awareness, yes. But there's definitely times where I'm like, well, shit, I wish I was staying a little bit more consistent at the gym. But then I'm like, well, I could just go to the fucking gym. So actually, I do think I have to settle on a strong agree because, it's I'm not like, oh, I feel bad for myself. It's like, all right, let me go change it.
Yeah, exactly. I
Cool.
feel like insecure is more like you're feeling down about yourself. All
Yeah,
right.
no.
Next one.
So
You avoid making phone calls. I strongly agree. I hate phone calls. Don?
I'm gonna disagree. I like getting to the point. I like people to leave me the fuck alone. I
So-
hate using my phone.
Wait.
Do I
It
avoid
says
making
you-
phone calls? I disagree. I like making phone calls.
Okay.
I like getting straight to the point. Leave me alone, and that's about it. Lawrence?
This is a tough one, dude. It depends on the person and depends what it's about. But I would say in general, I do avoid to make phone calls. I'd rather just be a text message. So I would just say agree here.
All right. So the next one that we have is you often spend a lot of time trying to understand views that are very different from your own. I strongly agree with this, even though I don't agree with a lot of the views I see, but I try to understand where they're coming from. And at the end of the day, you got to respect other people's opinions. So I'm going to strongly agree with that.
I'm gonna strongly agree with that as well. I feel like I actively do this, and I will comment on Donnie's answer choice. We disagree on most things, but we do try to okay, explain to me why you feel this way, rather than just like, oh, you feel this way, you're wrong, you're a bad person, etc.
Yeah, you don't want to shut the person down for what they feel.
Yeah, you try to be like, okay, why do you feel this way? Like, what are your reasonings? Like, help me understand.
Yeah.
Lawrence, if we have you.
Yeah. So with this one, it's kind of tough. I kind of want to slightly agree, because I won't say I spend a lot of time trying to understand views. Like I kind of like I'm not opposed when people have different views, but I don't go like out of my way and I'm like, oh, this person's doing this for that. Let me find out why. Like I don't really like catch myself going out of my way to figure it out, but I'm not opposed to their different point of view. So I'm just gonna hit this one with a slight agree.
All right, next one. In your social circle, you are often the one who contacts your friends and initiates activities. Um,
Vinny,
I'm gonna go neutral here. It's different for me, like depending on friend groups. Like, it's a flaw of mine here. Like in my like med school, other friend groups, I kind of suck at this. But then if I'm home visiting you guys, I'm like on top of it. Like I'm planning it before I get home. So it's not that I like prefer one group over the other or something. It's if I have like limited time, I initiate things. What about you, Don?
So I'm gonna say I strongly agree with this because I do like initiating activities. I like planning activities mainly because of it says in your social circle. I'm gonna talk about like the friend group then. I feel like me myself. I'm more of the one trying to get people out and get people doing things. Lawrence?
yeah, I'm gonna keep this with our friend group. It's kind of it's. I feel like this is a little biased towards us in the sense of like we're the ones that when we come home, since only home for a short amount of time, we want to make the moves. So I'm gonna try to kind of hinder it to how it used to be, like while we were all home. And honestly, it's pretty neutral. Like again, this is going off of our friend group. Like it kind of just like goes with the flow. I feel like we don't necessarily go out of our way to be like, oh, let's make sure we're doing something tonight. We kind of just like, yeah, you guys want to hang out? Yeah, it just kind of happens.
Well, it's not really saying you go out of your way here. It's like you're often the one to be like, "Hey, let's do this." It's not like you're going out of your way to make plans or anything.
All right, so then with that, okay, incorporating that, I would say right now, again, since we're the ones that come
Yeah.
home, I would say we're all gonna probably agree. But I'm gonna look at this as like if we were in like a everyday situation with everybody, I think I'd be pretty neutral.
Okay, that's fair. So the next one is gonna be if your plans are interrupted, your top priority is get back on track as soon as possible. Yes, I'm gonna strongly agree with this. I hate being interrupted at all. I want to get some. If I want to get something done, whether work or even like partying, if the party stops, fix the fucking problem. Let's get back on track. Let's get it destroyed. Like, come on. Ball.
I'm gonna agree. I wouldn't say like strongly agree for this. I feel like I make an effort to get things back on track, but sometimes I'm like, yeah, it depends what the context is. Lawrence?
Yeah, I hit this would agree. Same viewpoint as Bilal's here. Just hit it with an agree.
Awesome. All right, next one. You are still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago. I'm going to disagree. Past is the past. Sit there, worry about it. You lose track of the present and the future. Don?
I'm also gonna disagree. It's not that I wouldn't say I strongly disagree because I'm still bothered by a little bit of things, but that's what makes me better. But yeah, Lawrence.
Yeah, this might be my hardest strong disagree on the list. I am not bothered by mistakes from whenever.
All right.
Cool.
So the next question: you rarely contemplate the reasons for humans' existence or the meaning of life. You rarely contemplate the reasons for human existence. I'm gonna disagree. I don't really care for the meaning of life or human existence. I know we're here, and I know
No,
I'm gonna live my life.
you would hit an agree then.
It
Oh,
says
really?
rarely.
Yeah, really. I'm shot, bro. My fault. Yeah, yeah. I don't really care. It is what it is.
I'm gonna go slightly agree. I don't actively do this, but I do often try to, I guess like find the meaningful things in my life and like prioritize those. So it depends on how you interpret the question, but slightly agree. Lawrence?
Yeah. All right. So I was originally on agree, but the way you just worded that kind of wants me also put slightly agree because I don't really contemplate why we're here, but I do think that we are here for a purpose. Like it's not just we're just not just here just to live and then die. I do think we're here for like some type of bigger picture. I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's just we're here, we live, we die.
Fair. All right. Next one. Your emotions control you more than you control them. This sounds like a good idea for a future podcast. Taking
Mhm.
control of your emotions, right? For this, I'm gonna go disagree. I'm in control. Don.
I'm gonna go slightly disagree. Just because I know in the past I let myself my emotions get over me, but this day and age, I'm gonna slightly disagree. Lawrence.
Lawrence. There we
Yeah,
go.
I'm gonna hit this one with just a disagree. Part of me does want to say strongly disagree because I do feel like I'm pretty good at not letting my emotions control me. But actually, you know what? I think I do have to go to strongly disagree. I can't really pinpoint a time where I'm like, oh, I acted out because of my emotions. Like I do think I'm pretty good at just uh separating like acting out on emotion.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take us to the next one too. You take great care not to make people look bad, even when it's completely their fault. I feel like I agree with this. Like, depends on the person. Obviously, if I don't like the person, I can care less whether they look bad. Um, but especially if it's a team environment, it's everybody's fault at the end of the day. So I agree with this.
Yeah. I think just like in general, I'm gonna agree. If I like find out somebody screwed up something, I can help them fix it. Not everyone needs to know. Like, they messed this up. It is what it is. Move on.
Yeah.
Lawrence.
Uh, so I'm gonna hit this with an agree, but like a footnote of if it happens more than one time, like if a certain person consistently is doing something that's like that would make them look bad, but it's like either I'm taking the brunt of it or making the team take the brunt of it. I do like really believe in like a one-on-one sit down, kind of like talking like that, like take them to the side, like, hey man, like is everything all right? Like making sure that they're aware of what's going on, whatnot. But no, I definitely believe in like if one person messed up, put it on the team. Don't put it on that person if they're like genuinely trying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well
Completely
said.
agree.
All right. Next one. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. I'm gonna say disagree. I know when I'm most productive, and I make an effort to do my stuff during that time. Don.
Um, I'm gonna also disagree. It's just I don't know. It's just I don't really see like spontaneous burst of energy means like, oh yeah, you're happy to be there. I kind of get my work done and that's it. Like, end my day. The faster you get your work done, the faster you get to go home. That's my thing. Lawrence.
Uh, yeah, I think I might have to hit this one with a like strong disagree, at least for my work right now. Yeah, I don't really find myself catching spurts of like, oh, I'm super like I really want to get this done right now. It's more of like a no, I'm gonna make sure I put my the time needed in, and work towards whatever goal is set.
Cool.
Yeah. So the next one's gonna be when someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you. I'm gonna strongly disagree, just because of course it's nice when someone thinks highly of you, but like, why would you look at the down part of that? Like you shouldn't be looking. Oh, what if I fuck up? No. So I strongly disagree with this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna strongly disagree. I can't say I ever thought about this. I take it in. Lawrence.
Yeah, same thing what you guys are saying. Strong disagree.
Cool. Next one. You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. Um, I'm gonna slightly disagree here. Yeah, like I'd like some independence, but I like to work with people, assuming everything like it's a good work environment and all that. Don?
I'm gonna also slightly disagree here. Even though I do like working alone on my own task, I do also like the setting of a family at work almost. So yeah, I like that slightly disagree spot. Lawrence.
I'm gonna hit this with a disagree. I was losing a connection a little bit during your guys' answers, so if I repeat, I apologize. But I like to bounce ideas off of other people. I'm gonna hit this with a disagree because I don't have all the answers, and I think it's better when you work with somebody else and sharing viewpoints on something.
Yeah, that's great. All right, so this next one's going to be you believe that pondering abstract Blah, take this over.
Thank you, Don. We have friendship, right? So you believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. I'm gonna go with neutral. I have no comments. Don,
Yeah, I'm going to go neutral as well. I didn't want to tongue twist that for too long.
Lawrence.
I'm gonna hit this with a slight disagree. Like I don't really spend too much time on it, but I do like ancient Greek like thinkers philosophical questions like quotes. I do like quotes, and I feel like that is kind of partially philosophical questions sometimes. I'll just hit this with a slight disagree.
All right. So since Bilal helped me on the last one, I'll take this one. You feel more drawn to places with busy, bustling atmospheres than quiet, intimate places. I'm gonna slightly disagree here because I like more of a quiet. I don't know if this means like quiet workspace, but I don't want to go somewhere that's always loud. I hate blasting music in bars. I'd rather be able to talk to people and stuff. So I'm gonna go slightly disagree here.
I am gonna go with a strong disagree. I'm a
Yeah,
suburbs
I
kind
knew
of
that was gonna
guy.
happen.
I'm actively avoiding loud, crowded areas. Lawrence.
Yeah, I think I also have to hit this with a disagree. I think especially for us being where we're all from, like I kind of grown out of it in a sense. Like, I like having some solace. I like just being also. This doesn't necessarily tie into nature per se, but I do enjoy just time in nature.
Fair. Next one. You know at first glance how someone is feeling. I'm gonna strongly agree. I feel like I'm pretty good at this. Don.
I'm a little neutral here because like someone can just look sad and be tired. It's just like you never know what someone's actually feeling, but sometimes it's just blatant on their face what they're feeling. So I'm gonna go neutral here. I don't like to say I know what people look like. Lawrence.
Yeah, this one's kind of tough because I feel like I definitely have an inclination sometimes on how people are feeling on first glance, but I know me personally, a lot of people think that I walk around work pissed because I have a resting bitch face, but I'm typically always in a good mood. So uh, I'm gonna hit this with a slight agree. Again, the only reason why I'm not hitting it with an agree is because there's other people like me who they might seem like they don't want to be bothered, but that's just their face. It is what it is.
All right, so I'll take the next one. You often feel overwhelmed. I'm gonna disagree. Sometimes I feel overwhelmed, but it really doesn't like get to me like that. Like it'll be like 2 seconds. So like I'm gonna just go disagree with this. It's not a big thing in my life. So, Bilal.
Yeah, I'm gonna go disagree. It's not often. It happens, but it's not often. Lawrence.
Dude, I gotta hit this with a strong disagree, and reason being is especially like for work, like I got a big responsibility jump, and like I kind of like caught myself like, why am I not like going nerd? Like I was like drinking from a fire hose, but I was still like staying calm. I'm like, I'll figure it out. I didn't really get overwhelmed, and it was a huge like jump in responsibility. I was like, I'll figure it out. So I gotta hit this with a strong disagree.
All right. I can't remember if it was me reading it next or you, but I'll just go.
It's you.
You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. I'm gonna agree. I have a method. Like if I do something, I do it the same way every time. Donnie.
I'm gonna slightly agree here because I do feel like doing the correct steps is important, but I feel like if you know what you're doing, you can get through it a little bit easier. Lawrence.
Yeah, I agree with Bilal here. I think I'm just gonna hit agree. I do have like a certain way I like to do stuff, and I'm pretty methodical with it. Humans are, was it
Creatures of
beast of
habit.
habit,
Creatures of habit. Yeah.
creatures of habit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree.
All right. So this next one is you are very intrigued by things labeled as controversial. I'm gonna go agree here because I feel a lot of the stuff that is technically controversial shouldn't be. But that's a whole different type of thing that I find personally intriguing. Well,
I'm gonna go neutral. If I'm interested in it, I'm interested in it. Doesn't matter if it's controversial or not. Lawrence?
So I would hit it as a disagree. Um, I don't necessarily enjoy like because when I'm thinking of controversial things, I'm thinking of like when it comes to like media stuff. I hate talking about controversial stuff with people I know are like very set in their ways. Like I do everything I can to avoid it. But I'm only gonna hit it with a disagree because I don't necessarily not like try to learn about something or talk about something if it's controversial. Just I know like I don't want to get into like those type of debates. I try to avoid them.
Fair. Next, you would pass along a good opportunity if you thought someone else needed it more. Um, I'm gonna agree with this. I feel like I have done this, and I probably will do it again. Donnie?
I feel like this is a very open question.
Yeah. So hold on, Don. Before you answer, Bilal, can you give an example of how you interpreted this?
Um, so whether it be like say you and like a friend or like a good classmate, um, both were going for like the same thing, and you don't really need it, like you kind of wanted it, but this person like for whatever reason like they need this to achieve their like bigger goal. I have said no, like you, it's all you. Um, yeah,
I'm
like
gonna hit you something. I'm gonna hit you something
yeah.
real quick.
Yeah.
So let's say you got residency. It's you and one other person for
Okay.
your dream hospital.
Right.
You're gonna give that up?
Do they need it more? So, for example,
It
that's
what does
the
that mean?
question. The question says if they need it more. So, say, I mean, I don't know if it's my dream, like probably not, but I don't know. Like it says good opportunity, not like opportunity of your dreams. If, I don't know. It's hard to like think of like an exact, but I've
All right.
have. Or if it's
I
okay,
feel like I have a
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. I feel like I have a like a good kind of like middle ground, and then Don, if you want to go after this. So I'm gonna hit this with a disagree, and I'll explain why it's not a strong disagree. So I think a good opportunity. So I'm looking at this in two perspectives. One being in a competitive aspect, where if it's like, okay, if you're like shooting for top of the class, let's just say this is a random example. Say it comes with like $1,000 bonus, random.
Mhm.
You know that you're more well off than somebody else. uh, I still feel like I would still push for it because I don't. I feel like it's almost degrading that you're kind of giving away something to somebody because like, oh, I'm in a better position than you are. You take this. It's kind of degrading. Like make them. I feel like you get more if you earn it.
Yeah.
So and that's kind of why I'm on the disagree.
That's
But
fair.
I will say it's not a strong disagree because this has happened to me in the past where uh, right before my second deployment, we had to go back upstate for a week and I wasn't selected to go do it. But somebody I was working with who had family that was in town to visit, uh, like that week only, like he had family that week. And by no means, like it wasn't my name, it wasn't my job to go do it, but I still like, well, you know what, like don't worry about it, dude. Like I'll go up there and do it. Like that whole week was gonna be off. Like we had that off week. It was just he just so happened to have to go up there to go do it. And I was like, nah, man, like I'll go take care of it. I know you got family here. So and like that sense, I would, do it because I felt like he deserved, that time off. I didn't really have anything going on.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
guess it's open to interpretation on the context. Donnie?
that's why I'm gonna agree with your disagree there as well. So like, would that almost tells me it's like how every kid gets a trophy these days. Like that's basically giving out a trophy to somebody that doesn't really deserve it. This is like no. So I'm gonna put disagree as well. So the next question is, you struggle with deadlines. I'm gonna say I strongly disagree with this because I typically feel like I'm very good with deadlines in my life. Even though I can put things to the last minute here and there, and like sometimes most of the time, I'm still getting it done at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm strongly disagree. I don't struggle with deadlines. Lawrence?
Yeah, this one's easy. Strong disagree.
Cool. All right, and I believe this is the last one, so I'll take us home. You feel confident that things will work out for you. I strongly agree. I think I said this in one of the previous episodes. One of my favorite quotes is like, "I'll either find a way or I'll make one." I live by that. I wasn't just saying it. Donnie?
So I'm gonna honestly strongly agree with this one too. I'm never looking like I'm never gonna look in the future and be like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna be doing shit in the future. I'm confident that things are gonna work out for me, and even if it doesn't, I'm gonna make it work out for me. So that's my
Yeah,
stance.
I feel like we've alluded to this in a couple other questions we already answered. I strongly agree as well. It's that easy.
All right.
All right, you guys ready to see results?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Lawrence, you want to start and like kind of guide us through this breakdown?
All right, so this is so what we're getting now. So I took one of these like a week ago. I kind of rushed through it. I didn't really talk about what I was doing with anybody. So basically, what this is saying is based on all of our answers, what they could in a kind of I guess label us as based on how we answered. So like right now, I got a console as my personality type.
Like a what do you mean?
Console, like CONSUL.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I got Defender. And then
And
for anyone
I got-
for anyone listening, let's give them the like I forget what these called, but the like 4-letter thing. So mine is ISFJ-A.
So mine is executive, and it's ESTJ TAC A.
Yeah, mine's a console, ESFJ TAC A, and then I'll just go real quick on like my percentages if you guys want to like go down
Yeah,
each.
yeah.
So for mind, this trait determines how we interact with our environment. I'm 60% extroverted in regards to, versus introverted.
I'm also 60% extroverted as well.
I am 62% introverted.
So that kind of.
Okay. Energy. This trait shows this trait shows where we direct our mental energy. So I got 57% observant.
I got 51% observant.
Wow, Donnie. I also got 51% observant.
Oh, we're the same person.
And then
Yeah, okay.
the caveat to that would be being intuitive. That was the opposite of being observant. Then we got nature. So this trait determines how we make decisions and cope with emotions. So I have 70% feeling versus 30% thinking.
I got 55% thinking and 45% feeling.
I got 66% feeling, 34% thinking. I feel like that's a little high for me, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Then we got tactics. So this trait reflects our approach to work, planning, and decision making. So I have 74% judging versus 26% prospecting.
I got 72% judging on this one.
Oh my god, I got 71% judging.
Wow. All right, and then honestly, I feel like this might be one that we're the closest in, even though we were pretty close on the tactics part. So identity. This trait underpins all others, showing how confident we are in our abilities and our decisions. And here I got 97% assertive versus 3% turbulent.
So I don't know what I answered, but I got 75% assertive and 25% turbulent.
I'm somewhere in the middle. I got 83% assertive and 17% turbulent.
Okay.
And then it says read your profile. What's that?
So that's just gonna go more in depth as to like they kind of like go into like it kind of gets to like the astrology type of ordeal where it goes like, oh, your strengths, your weaknesses, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we don't have to go into that. It was kind of just like a fun thing to do. It was more of like a talking point versus like, oh, this is what I am. This is how I feel.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That was interesting.
Ooh, Frank Sinatra is one of my people, and James Monroe.
Where do you
But I
see
got some
that?
good fucking people. I clicked the thing where you look at later.
Yeah, I'm looking. Where do I see people that are? Oh,
That's all we got.
okay. So, all right, Donnie, you were
Dwight Schrute. Let's go.
okay. The
Go
people. All right, let's each read like a couple. So mine, I said I was a defender. Defenders I may know: Beyonce, Queen Elizabeth II, Aretha Franklin, Vin Diesel, Catelyn Stark from Game of Thrones, Captain America. Lawrence, who'd you get?
Oh my god, dude. So I got Taylor Swift, Jennifer Garner, Bill Clinton, Steve Harvey, J Lo, Sansa Stark. I got Cersei Lannister, Carmela Soprano, and Monica from Friends.
All I'm gonna say, I got the best Stark. I got Rob Stark in mine. That's fire.
All right. Well, that was pretty interesting. We tried a little something different here. Let us know what you guys think, or if you guys have taken something like this before. If you know us, let us know if this is kind of what you had us pinned for, or if there's any answers that surprised you. That being said, I'm shocked me and Donnie had that much in common.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're the same person, you know.
No. Lawrence, any closing remarks from the other side of the world?
Yeah, I'm glad we were all able to push through it, and everybody listening back home, thank you for sticking through it. If you got this far, we still enjoy doing this, so we're trying to make it work, even given the circumstances.
All right.
And I'd like to say thank you to everyone as well. This one's gonna be a bitch to edit, but appreciate you guys listening and all that.
Yeah, thanks everybody, and we'll catch you in the next one.